Alrighty, folks. I see a few people starting to pile in here. Yeah, excellent. So, as people pile in, I'll start with my usual. This is an open forum here, so please ask any and all questions. As per usual, I do not have any pre-done content, so I do rely on the kindness of your folks' interactions here. Bill, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. So again, I see a few more coming in. Don't be shy, folks. If you got questions on the platform, please get those in for me. As per usual, I don't have any pre-done content here, so rely on you all to help drive the interaction that we've got going on today. Yeah, so with the money machine, you can see it on our web dashboard right now. Go ahead and bring that over. And essentially, the idea behind it in its iteration right now that you can see is that you're involved with the top three stocks that are here, and then if one of them should drop out, you would close that position and add a position to the new stock that is replacing it. The issue that we've found with this is manually trying to do this is a bit tough. Could be a lot of back and forth with some of these kinds of scans where you're trying to keep up with closing and opening new positions becomes a bit tough. So we are working on the automated version of this here. More details to come on that in the future, but not really much else for me to share as far as that goes. So that's what you got for the money machine right now. You can see it on the dashboard and play along with it how you see fit as far as the top three stocks. More customizations are on the way for this in the future as well. And if you don't have a link, if you don't know where to find the dashboard, there is a link to the dashboard for you right there. It does not provide buy and sell signals on the charts. No, it does not. The only spots you're going to find buy and sell signals on the charts is with Holly and our Tradewave. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that out of the way here. So very good, very good. Keep the questions coming. Keep the questions coming. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Tradewave. So you got to make sure you're on our latest beta software here. So if you go to help and about, you need to be on 5.6.104. If you are not, you can find the latest beta rate. Sorry, getting a link. Find the latest beta rate there. Please make sure to select the one that says beta, right? And once you've done that, you'll have a little FX on your chart. You can see the FX here, up here on the top left-ish. And you click that. And select the Tradewave there. If you happen to not see the FX there, two things could be happening. The most likely is you don't have the browser enabled, so just make sure you check the browser. Maybe watch here. If I right-click, see I unchecked the browser, now the FX is gone up there. I go ahead and right-click and I put the browser back on. and the FX and trade wave come back right there for you. So the other thing that could happen is if your charts are really small, this toolbar up here sometimes gets squashed out for space for the actual chart. So that can happen as well. Best scan. Um, I'm not really sure. It's tough because if you get things that are just, they gap up, right? And they've already had a buy signal recently, and the buy signals are gonna be on different time frames. There's no best on this. Sorry, the best is, that's like going to a restaurant and asking what's the best dish, right? And I tell you fish, and you hate fish, right? So best doesn't work in this scenario. We can see here. If I'm the signals are going to look different on different time frames here, right? So there's been no buy signal here on this one, right? But it's back here, but here we got a buy and a sell and a buy on the 3-minute chart, right? And so there's no way to account for all that in every kind of scan. It's just not possible. As far as I know, it's pretty stable. I've been on it for, I guess, months at this point now. It's got to be since October, September. I'm not sure. At least 2 months, if not 3 months. I haven't had any personal issues with it. So, we run into people that have issues with all the versions of our software. Generally, they're one-offs, so it makes it hard to. We've got 10,000 people using a software. Well, we don't have 10,000 on the beta, but we got several thousand, on the beta, and we get one person here and there, and every one of them has a different problem. Generally, it's going to be something with their machine or some kind of configuration. Versus, when you've got the entire scope of people having an issue with the software. That's obviously a bug specifically on our end. So again, back to the question about the best scanner for the TradeWave. I'd say there is no best scanner for the TradeWave outside of maybe, I won't say it's best, but more likely to fit what you're trying to find. Go to Market Explorer and select strategy, look for the TradeWave, and then figure out which time frame you want to see this on. We have 5-minute, weekly, and daily on that right now. And that would probably be your best bet like that. But, I like my relative strength from the open scan here. But had I been using this scan today on a 5-minute chart, it doesn't give me a buy here, right? The buy was way back here. But if I'm using it on a 3-minute chart, it gives me this beautiful buy right here that happens. I never really got out of the money on that, slightly negative, and thing goes on to explode. So how, I can't say one is best over the other, because the time frame changes what things look like. Yeah, it's our TradeWave indicator. So you got to be, again, we'll go over this again, help and about. Make sure you're on our latest beta version. You need to be on 5.6.104. If you're on anything besides that, then you can't have it. You got to update. There's no cost on the update. It's just updating the software, right? You can download the latest beta here. I'm going to show the link again. And make sure you select the beta. It specifically says beta on there. So please select the beta. Once you've got that downloaded and launched, then you're going to right-click the chart and make sure browser interface is checked. Look for this FX up here and enable the TradeWave. 1, 2, 3. And here's a video for going back and re-referencing if you need. There you go. 15-minute TradeWave. Not at the moment, Bill. I won't rule it out that it doesn't happen at some point. It will not be happening at any time in the near future, unfortunately. For several reasons. One, the Market Explorer scans cost a lot of money actually to run on our end because of the server tech that's involved. So we have to justify the cost of it, number one. And number two, right now, we are in an in-between period with those that can actually work the Market Explorer, create those scans within there. So we just don't have someone that we can allocate to that at this time, unfortunately. So for those two reasons, we're just going to ride the three that we have in there, see how that works out, and then move forward from there. All right, Sergio, glad you got that. Glad you got that. I would suspect sometime in the new year, Bill, we'll probably see a 15-minute come on there. I wouldn't expect January, February, but maybe as we move in towards March and we get a few other things settled here, that would be a possibility. But for the moment, the focus of the development team and the management team is the money machine and its delivery into Trade Ideas Pro software, and then its automated abilities. That is the main focus right now of the company. So, all right. We're cruising along here. So again, anybody with questions, please don't be shy. Get those in here for me. I don't know what's happening in the market. I guess we'll tour around a little bit here. Some of the things that are coming from this scan. So QSI is going to be on there anyways. ChixAI is going to be on there anyways. So all right, we'll start with MGX. And again, feel free to interrupt me here, folks. I much prefer to answer questions, general software questions than any of this. On chart, what means stop? I'm not sure what you mean by on chart, what means stop with red. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're asking. I mean, the S is the sell signal, not a stop. So, for the trade wave, the S is a sell signal. GXAI. Yeah, I'm not following what you're looking at here. I mean, GXAI was an AI alert. It was a Holly alert here, so it had to stop somewhere. I don't know where. For Holly. So it looks like a stop happened at 536 because it was a short trade. It was called short here by Holly. But that's the only stop that's there. Outside of that, all you've got is this here. The EMA cloud, and I have a VWAP on my chart, but that's all. The only other thing that there is this sell signal from way back here, but that's not valid right now because we had a buy signal here on the 5-minute time frame. That's still valid for now. Yeah, Sergio, just keep them coming. Don't be shy. This is an open forum. I will get to everybody's questions. Of course, if I don't have an answer, I'll let you know I don't, and then give you an email to shoot me follow up at, see if I can get an answer for you if I don't have one. But I've got another one. Brokerage Plus. No, you can't make alert windows run faster. I don't know why that speed thing was ever there, but it's nothing. I know what you're talking about. Just disregard that, please. I wish they would remove that. It has no. It's nothing. There's nothing to this. I know what you're talking about. Properties and speed here. The alerts come in real time. There's no way to predict what's going to come, right? That's the next fastest thing. This comes time stamped. If you look behind the scenes under in your support files, I'm not going to go over how to get there. It's not relevant. You'd see that these are to the millisecond, these alerts, when you have them linked into Brokerage Plus. So yeah, no way to get them faster. Yeah. I don't understand why that's there, to be honest. I think maybe there is a point where we have people that sometimes want to subscribe to the software with delayed data for some reason. They don't want the data to come in live. I have no idea why. I can't understand it. So there might have been a point where they tried to slow alerts down for folks like that in the past. That would have been before my time. So, people ask for some what I consider very wild things within the software all the time that I can't find any logic or reason behind. But I'm sure they have their reasons for it. But I couldn't tell you. So, yeah. So, again, keep the questions coming. Don't be shy. If we have more questions. So MGX, bit of a gap up here, traded up and down, really kind of been all over the place. Not a big float either, 23 million in that float, but not bad on the day for a $3 stock, right? Earnings were well behind it. Don't see anything crazy about this here on the chart. That's it's been in a downtrend, but it's not one of those stocks that seems to have wild days at this point. Doesn't appear to, anyways. So having itself a day here. I don't know if there's much left on the tank at this point, but not a bad look here. And you can see it's clearly been on the races nonstop today. So valid symbol, GXAI. I don't know. There's a whole lot to go over on this. I would say, patience is a virtue well rewarded in trading, right? And go chasing something that's up that much on a small price stock, nothing to sneeze at here. And, it ran itself into some resistance around this level up here. That's not the best line I've ever drawn. Let me use a drawing tool. Miss our old horizontal lines. They're much easier. So, ran itself into some resistance there, but then also the sellers just couldn't seem to drag it down either, right? Come on. And so, even after it started to sell off this way, it had volume pop up on it a couple of times here. Went to sleep a little bit there. And held that VWAP and really exploded off of it there. So patience being a virtue, well rewarded for those. Whether it was patience that you were going to use the low of the day as your stop, or you were going to wait to make an entry for it to break out. How do you get Holly signals on your chart? Yeah, so first you're probably going to want to have the Holly window open. Let's start with that there. So if you go to new on the menu bar and go to premium AI strategy trades window, you get something that looks like this window here. Your columns might be different than mine. I've set mine up to be a specific way. But if you right click, you can also do whatever you want with your columns there. So that's that part of it. And so you can see, in real time, these came, obviously they're all here now because we're past the real time. You can see these come in, and then if you right click your chart, go to properties, show AI trades, just go ahead and click that on, and you'll see the AI trades from there. And when you click on any of the Holly alerts, you'll see, where the entry is and so on and so forth. I do prefer, if I'm looking at that, to see the Holly alerts like this here without the browser interface on there. That's just my personal preference. but you can go either way with that. So pretty simple there for you, Maggie. If you got further questions or if I went too fast, just let me know. We can go back over that again. Also, just in case, for if you'd like to bookmark so you can reference it later, there's a video I did on Holly a couple months back. So it gives it gives a little tour around Holly and some insights about it as well. COGT. So again, keep the questions coming, folks. As long if I don't have questions to answer, I'm just going to kind of look at some charts, and that came from the scan here, and that's really it for the moment. COGT, it's an interesting one, right? So this gap way down here, big reversal, right? Open down here, reverse that right there on that first 5-minute bar. Flopped around for a moment here. Been just kind of steady riding that wave ever since. I don't know if there's anything left again in that tank. It's a pretty sizable reversal move right there, to be honest. But you never know. You never know. Let's just kind of keep on rolling along until something else comes in. KOD. COD with a K. So, yeah, let's see what we got here. Big gap up on it here. Two big opening 5-minute bars, kind of floundered around and just gave it up afterwards. So, decent liquidity, although possibly dried up at this point. We'll see if it can't get itself back up again. So again, folks, I encourage, don't be shy. If you have questions, please get those in for me. What else do we have? Let's continue on. Let's continue WAI. So another one here. I mean, we've got some monster gainers on the day today here. I'd like to point out with this SPY, right? Selling off slightly. Nothing major here, right? Clearly nothing major. But, not exactly having a green day today. And we're still finding some action here to the bullish side of things. TWI it's gapped itself up. It's grinding along, sitting here near the high of the day. I don't know again how much more it's got left on that here. Drop that browser interface here. So yeah, running into what looks like could be a logical spot for some resistance here based on prior price action. We'll see what that equals for the rest of the day there. QSI. Another one just kind of grinding along all day long. It's clearly been active for a couple of weeks now, it looks like. I'm not sure if it came up with on what's did that major move. I mean, I'm guessing you're talking about TWI here. It came in this scan that I have here. But the buy was already there from days ago. It's already been in a buy on a 5-minute chart. We moved to a 3-minute chart. We didn't get a buy till here on this. So I don't know where you could have found a buy on this bar here. Yeah, TWI. So, that's why, the trade wave, I understand its appeal. I understand that everybody just wants some kind of system that says buy now, sell now, and they don't have to do anything else with it. There's just no system like that, unfortunately. We could look at the trade wave here and say, all right, well, it's in a buy now, and then maybe I don't want to chase rate on this. Is there going to be another buy opportunity for me? And then maybe use the sell as a guide on possibly selling afterwards based on where you bought. But there's an infinite amount of ways for this trade wave to work on different time frames and things like that. So there's just, with 8,000 stocks and ETFs, there's no way to account for everything. It's not mathematically possible. It's literally an infinite amount of combinations. And we could tailor a scan for one specific stock on one specific time frame, and we may never see it work like that again either, right? We just be simply fitting it to a situation of the past that may never happen again exactly like that. That's the other thing with it. So I'm just going to kind of push forward along on this here. So RVPH, again, we get this buy here on this opening bar, and then this crazy move with the halt and the gap up on the halt and giving it up like that. And, trying to chase something like that is dangerous just because you got that buy signal there. You don't know how that's, and the sell signal, how and where it's going to come. But so this is fighting at that VWAP. Volume is obviously lessened, but not gone. I'd be watching this here, actually. I'd be watching for it to claim, keep claimed above the VWAP and $3, right? Because if it gets into that $3 gap, I may want to kind of push back on that 4 again. That's what I'd be looking at if I was watching this. Anything below that, you've just got too much. You got this topping shadow that could be resistance, then the $3 that could be resistance, right? And so where are you going to play that off of? Like all the way back down here, you're risking all this money to make just a few pennies. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So I would need to see it, clear and clear. And if it were to go without me, that's the way it goes sometimes. But I'd rather miss out on this than participate on that. That's for sure. ANGO. Yeah, see another tough one here in the sense that, gaps up and it just keeps going, right? To chase that whole way. And there's no, for me, there's no way to know, is that really going to keep going? Do I chase here and then all of a sudden it reverses there? I need that set up there. So I don't know if it's setting up now or not. It's kind of tough, but certainly got some serious interest in it on the day here. Again, folks, don't be shy. Please get some questions in here for me. Got software related questions. That's what I'm here for. I'm happy to answer, go over any of this with you. Building a scan, different filters, whatever it happens to be. I think it's much more beneficial to you folks when I'm helping answer your questions on the software versus me just randomly, aimlessly talking charts at you here, all in hindsight. BGS, I know this was moving earlier. I'm not sure what it did. Yeah, so continue to move nicely. I'm kind of kicking myself for this one here. So I was watching this. I saw it make a nice move. I took my eye off of it on that consolidation there. Made another nice little leg up there. Ain't a ton, but would have been decent playing it off that 8 level versus maybe something like that here. Didn't do it. Lost track of it. Not really sure where this heads now, obviously. Holding that VWAP, but it's under pressure now from these other moving averages there. So, but clearly some serious interest in it. And last but not least on this scan for now, anyway, is CREV. Nothing to comment positive on this one here. 400,000, just shy of 500,000 shares traded at this point with a really high relative volume means this thing just doesn't trade, period. I don't think there's really much to comment on this thing here. Ugly shadows, dot itself all over the place. Yeah, just an ugly chart. Just happened to make the scan because it's being up from the open here, probably, and won that one race. And so it's on that top 10 because of the one race, because it probably won real early. And so as these ones piled up the wins, it just kept forcing it down the line, keeping off the other one race win stocks. So that's the short and skinny there. What else today, folks? What else? And there's a whole lot else coming through here new right now. These top ones have all been talked about already. Trying to find what else we've got here going on outside of just looking at the overall market, Bring up that trusty old SPY chart there. And just see that the beat moves on. Yeah, so Sergio, what makes it difficult is this. Sorry, I want to bring it over before. Bear with me while I get that up here. I don't keep the market dashboard open here. I don't use it for anything. We could buy these three right now. We got to get the position sizing, boom, and buy, and then get the position sizing and boom and buy, and see how it's already moving. Before I could have even gotten one order in, this whole thing is shifting already, right? That's what makes it difficult. And then it's like you could buy this right this second. Then you're trying to get an order for this and order for this, and this drops out all of a sudden. And let's just say this one comes in. So now I've got to fill for this, but I got to get rid of this, and I still haven't filled this, and I still haven't filled this, and now I got to fill this one too. That's what's hard about it. That fast turnover. Is it always going to be a fast turnover like that? It's impossible to predict. And we were to use, slower moving scans in general, we're not generating the same alpha anymore, right? So that's why this makes it much more difficult. I can tell you that, involved in what's going on the back end of things, that we want there to be more trade management than it simply closes the position because it drops out. We're going to add a trailing stop capability, I believe, so that, if you're up and the thing all of a sudden makes a mad reversal on you, you're not getting whipped out of that and losing all your profit on it, those things like that. So intriguing on what we believe will be a powerful concept, but for the human to be able to interact with this that quickly, not realistic right now in a lot of scenarios. Not all scenarios, of course, but there's no way to predict, is today a day, or is this hour going to be better than the previous hour? Or is this 4-hour block better? Or is this 3-hour block worse? As far as the whipsaw and how fast things move, right? That's the big caveat here. So let me know if that makes sense. If you have other questions on that. Okay, glad that. Yeah. So it was one of those things when the management team here first showed a group of us this, and I can't speak for anybody else's reactions. Of course, my first reaction seeing some of how this goes was, holy cow, is this the cheat code, right? But then, as I followed and observed, I saw, all right, in this moment it was working real well. Then it got real tough. I couldn't do it anymore, keep up with it. And then I can't accurately track manually how my P&L would look on something like this. And then the next moment, okay, it's back to manageable again. And then a minute later, now it's tough to manage again, that type of thing like that. So like I said, It is very interesting, very promising looking like that here. But we got a little more work to go on it. But the idea behind it is relative strength, right? You always we want to own the strongest stocks, right? That's what we want. We want to own the strongest stocks, and when they're not strong anymore, we want to get out of them, right? And so that's the concept behind this here. So, all right, I'll go ahead and close that for now. And again, anybody with questions, do not be shy. Please, please, please get those questions in here for me, right? I'm going to go and talk some charts in the market and whatever else. It's not like I have any special insight that, a million other people don't have out there. But I want to fill the airtime. I'm not going to sit here leaving you all with silence and a screen. But of course, if you have questions, get those in. Don't be shy. So just take a look at the SPY here. And again, bull market, right? What do we comment on this? It makes a nice move up. We see a little pullback and makes a nice move up, and we consolidate a bit, right? And we make a small move up, almost a semi-consolidation just from that last level being up, and we get a little sell-off. We consolidate and we move up. We sell off, we move up. We consolidate, we move up. Get a little deeper sell-off than we've seen recently, and a bounce, and a consolidation, and a sell-off, and a bounce, and a consolidation, and a move up, and a consolidation with a small sell-off. And we get a big move up with a consolidation, a little sell-off, and another move up, right? And so, and I always try to point out to people, what do we want? We want, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, right? To get us all the way to 10 at the end, right? What does the market give us instead? It gives us 1 plus 3 minus 2 minus 5 plus 7 minus 4, right? That's what the market gives us. It doesn't give us what we want in that regard. And so that's why, trading plan is so important, right? We got a trading plan which well thought out here, right? And all of a sudden, the market makes a sell-off and we get stopped out here. Well, we didn't participate in that all the way down there, and we had no way to know that that's where the ride down would end, right? And then as it bounces back up, we could say, all right, well, we can revisit that here. And, we got the stop, down here somewhere again. It comes down, maybe doesn't get us this time. And now we're continuing to move up, right? It pulls back and our stop is moved up wherever it is for whatever reason. And it doesn't get us again on that pullback. We continue to get to participate. But when the down draw comes, we're protected, right? And that's the idea behind all this here. So, at some point, the merry-go-round stops as far as the market goes. Bull markets happen, bear markets happen. We're on a beautiful bull run. It could continue for all anybody knows. It could stop for all anybody knows. I mean, what's certain is we will not start a bear market today. We won't start a bear market tomorrow. When the next one will happen, who knows? But I think a lot of people fail to remember. Let's look on a monthly chart here. We've had 3 bear markets since the end of 2018, right? So let's see. This is the end of 2018 is right here. So that's a bear market. That's COVID. That's a bear market. This is a bear market. 3 bear markets in that time frame right there. 1, 2, 3. So it's not like we haven't had bear markets, right? Obviously, this is a longer lasting one, and people can do all the complaining they want about COVID and that it should have been worse and longer and we shouldn't have recovered like that and blah, 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 blah. That's good. That's great. Cry about it. This is what we did do. That's reality. You don't have to like it, but you can sit on the sidelines and not make any money too, right? So for all my doom and gloomers out there, that stuff bothers me. It bothers me because a lot of people will read that, they won't get in the market, or they'll close out, some kind of fund or something that's for retirement because, so-and-so said we're due for a crash, and then we don't crash. They've checked out, the market makes a huge move, and now you're going to buy back into the huge move, right? All because some clown is out there speaking doom and gloom. And again, that's why a trading plan is important. So when the doom and gloom does happen, you're protected. Not just randomly getting out because someone said so. Qs, something I'd like to note with the Qs is they had been kind of the laggard for a little bit here. SPY and the S&P and the Dow Jones were more leading overall than the Qs. The Qs have played catch up nicely here. And into new all-time highs themselves again. Obviously, everything's everything, but there's a good amount of red today. So just put it in perspective how how up we are and how very little down we are today is all. And again, it's not to say a reversal can't happen, right? Could today be the start of a bigger reversal? It's possible. Is it likely? I don't think so. But I'm going off of these nice moves that we've had with the logical pullbacks that have gone on at this point, right? That's what we're looking at. We're looking at, solid technical analysis here. If then, if this happens, then this likely happens. If that happens, then this likely happens. That kind of stuff. IWM, I'm going to hit that real fast. Dun, 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 dun. The end of last month, at the end of November. It's hard to believe that November's, already 9 days in the window, right? In the rear view window. But IWM made its first all-time high since the end of 2021, at the end of November here. So we've been in a bull market we're now in our third year of this bull market, and the IWM just finally made a new all-time high. So again, when people talk about things are overextended, well, according to what? According to who? Right? Bring this back to a weekly chart. We're going, this is 2021 back here, 2024 here. We're about to hit 2025, right? It's a long time. That doesn't look extended to me, right? I don't know about anybody else. Again, this is one of those times I wish we had a log chart. But, if we go to monthly, even more. Does that look overextended to you guys? Now, look, the IWM is small caps. We've got probably 100 companies in this country that are worth more, that as individual companies that are worth more than every company in this put together, probably times 2 even. But nevertheless, when all of a sudden people are looking for a lot more growth for their portfolios, it's going to be a lot of stocks in the IWM that are coming into focus and into play, right? So I'd keep that in mind as well. And I do believe that you can consider the IWM a form of a risk on, risk off type of indicator here, in the sense that, when this is working, you're going to find people are looking to put money to work longer term and willing to let that work with possibly deeper stops, so on and so forth. And when this isn't working, you'll find that people will be quicker to, I say people, funds in general and things like that, will be quicker to close out trades when they're up and suspect, sniff a possible reversal happening, not to give up that profit and lock it in. So, I'd keep that in mind right now. And again, we get this 1 month up here, but look, we had a month up, and look at, the sellers were trying to come and get it, and they couldn't do it here on the IWM. Not only could they not do it, right? We get up, dragged it way down here, couldn't keep it down there, dragged it down here, not even as far, right? And you got this almost spinning top doji or harami, not quite either one of those, but it's close, before we hit this up here in November. Now here we are in December, obviously starting off a little red. We'll see how it goes. So just keep things in perspective and do the work, do the work, do the work, do the work. Diamonds. We'll talk about the Dow Jones. And this thing has just been steady as she goes for a long, long time now. Let's even, I think it's even better if we do it on a weekly chart at this point. Those lines I got from way back when, right? So, delete a few of these because I don't think we really need them any longer. There we go. So, this year, that's COVID happens. We make a nice move out of it. And when we hit this bear market that happened in here, 2022, wasn't quite as deep or as a big of pullback in the Dow Jones. You think, you found a lot of people looking more at value than growth. And as we came out of the bear market, more people were looking at value than growth as well. And so I think that played a role in the Dow Jones not selling off as much. Of course, I'm sitting here hindsight, anybody could look at anything hindsight and make some sort of inference to any of those things like that. Since coming out though, coming out of the bear market here, there's a long consolidation here, up here, and the rest of the market wasn't as quick to recover as the Dow was. Stayed here for a while before really making into that next bull market and bull run up. Another nice consolidation here before we get that next leg up in the Dow. So again, where are we headed at this point? Everybody's guess is as good as the next person, right? What's your if-then scenario? This was your chart. You had your money to put to work, right? What's your if-then scenario for wanting to get in here? Well, I'd wait for a pullback. Well, where would the pullback be and why would you wait there, right? I'd wait for consolidation. How much consolidation are you looking for, right? These are the questions to ask yourselves on any chart, on any time frame, right? Whether it be the Dow chart or whether it be some solar stock you're after, right? This is what we do. We ask the questions, and there's the only person that can really answer those questions is ourselves and our trading plans. So, all right, I must be boring you folks to death, but I have no questions. So, you guys got questions, get those in. Don't be shy. I'm happy to answer those. Other than that, just do some general talking here. GELS, what you doing? I see it coming flying across the screen here. So, I don't know. I don't really know what to say about this one here. What can I say? Strange. This must be like trade a few shares, stop, trade a few shares, stop. I mean, the relative volume is really kicking. 1.8 million shares traded on it today, but it just has that weird feel when you look at the chart versus look at this here. So I don't know really what to say on that. But I saw it come flying across, so I thought maybe let's take a look and talk about it, right? You know what I just realized? I was thinking about this earlier today. KWeb. Get back to a daily chart here. Start on day. Maybe we'll move to a week afterwards. So KWeb represents your Chinese internet stocks here, and made this move up and just punish those that believed in it again. But then China announced some big stimulus package, and all this happened. But then you can't just go chasing stuff like that, right? And it came down here and consolidated. Came down here, consolidated. But interesting that it held this 30 level. This is why I find this interesting. Bear with me, folks. Now, we'll move to the weekly. Notice how many times this has touched that level over the last several years. The more price touches a level, the more significant that level is here, right? And it came up and through it, came down and tested it. And so now we say, has prior resistance, because this has been resistance for a long time now, has that become support? And is this the base that we can finally build off of with China to get some positive momentum on the world's second largest economy? I don't know the answer to that, right? But I'm certainly looking at Chinese stocks again. That's for sure. I didn't stop looking at them. I just was looking at them with less interest after this, pullback here. But, there's a few that I got my eye on. Continue to keep an eye on it. You never know. For all we know, we could get another head fake. I would say that this level here, if I can grab that line, this is also an important level here that we're running back up into here, right? When we scroll back, we'll see that again. And we'll see how important that was all the way back here. And someone will say, well, that was all in the past. Why does it matter? Why does it matter? Price has memory because humans have memory, right? And because we can go back in time and see this on the chart. Everybody's looking at the same levels, and everybody's thinking they're smarter than the next person, thinking, oh, well, this was a place of selling before, so I'll sell 5 cents before everybody else when it gets to there. And then the next person, well, everybody's looking at, I'll sell 7 cents before everybody else, and then, continue that route to someone selling, 50 cents before everybody else. And you get the one person that says, I think this is setting up. I'm going to buy everybody else that's selling into it. They could be right. The people selling into it could be right. Time will tell, right? That's, again, where the trading plan comes in. First, there are no dumb questions, Joel. Sorry, I just saw that a second ago, so bear with me. How do you set up the traders automatically? There is no automation of Holly, sorry. No automation of Holly. The only automation that you can do is create your own alert window and then set that up for automation. And the general path for that would be, sorry, I want to get out an alert window. Come on. Sorry, all my clicking is missing. I want to get something that was back testing that I had a lot of hope for and then isn't working out now. So you create an alert window, right? An alert window at its core is going to be this. You select an alert. In this case, I picked the crossed above resistance alert, and then you pick your filters, and then you start to back test it. So the idea is to have an idea of a strategy, right? And then you set up some parameters inside here for the back testing, hold times, stop, things like that. And then you simulate buy if it's buy, sell if it's a sell. And you run the back tester, and then you can start to optimize it. You can optimize, come to the optimization tab, you optimize it by the price, time of day, and then every other filter that we offer is in here for optimization. You can see how each one impacts the scan. If there's something in the filter that you could adjust to impact it positively, obviously. And then you got to be careful what's called curve fitting, right? Because something we could stack all these filters. We got 300 something filters. You could stack 75 filters to make something look just so beautiful and perfect, and then it doesn't test forward well. So it's that fine line between optimizing and over optimizing, or what we call curve fitting. And essentially that's how that's done. Once you've done that, then you would import this into the Brokerage Plus module and then run it from there like that. Yes and no. I mean, if you're looking for a community that's going to share automated strategies, no. Those are, I don't know how many users we have that automate successfully. I ballpark it somewhere in the few hundred, but they keep that, the amount of work that they put into it, they keep that stuff under lock and key. But, people do share, regular scans. First off, anything you see here, if you like, I'm happy to share that with you. There's also our traders room where our moderator, Barry, he's got, he does all his trading manual, but he's got some nice scans in there. You can find the traders room here. And there are folks in there that will certainly share scans with you without any question. If you just, new to come in, go into the room, and because I'll wrap up here in a few minutes, and most of the people that are here are usually hanging with Barry for the balance of the day. Me and another couple of gentlemen, we do this for an hour a day, Monday through Friday, to give Barry a break. But he doesn't broadcast here on the YouTube side. Anyways, if you were to, go in that room and just say, hey, I'm, new to the Trade Ideas community here and just looking for some different scans, maybe some, well, I don't know what you're looking for, but, pullback scan, some kind of momentum play, things like that, looking for things that have, moved up quickly. I'm sure there's going to be a few people that are going to share some scans in there. And then the beauty with the software is, they can share Cloud Link to those scans, and then you can, right click any scan and come into the configure and say, oh, I like what you did with this filter or that filter, but maybe I want to change the price range, or I want to see, a higher relative volume, or I'd like to see less shares traded on the day, so on and so forth. So it's all very customizable in that sense. Generally, you'll find I'll ballpark in between 150 and 300 people inside that room a day. There's probably about 20, 30 really active people discussing things in there for the most part. And then Sergio, sorry, I noticed no EMA filters, no workaround, sorry. No ABCD pattern. On the ABCD pattern, this is what I tell people. So we don't have a bull flag scanner. Like, we don't have a pattern recognition for bull flag scanners, but Andy Lindloff, that I work with here, created a bull flag daily setup here. So here's that scan. And what I want to point out is we don't have a way to, there's no like find me bull flag. What he did was he created it with filters in a outside the box thinking kind of way. So he gave it, a price range. some other metrics in here. So essentially, like what he did was he said, all right, the change in 10 days has got to be up at least 3%. So that gets you your pull, right? And then the position, the previous day's range, we want to see it above the previous day. So that's, moving back up again. But the 5-day range has got to be between 1% and 5%. So that's like our flag going on here like that. There's, a few other metrics that he added in here. Some of it to try to shake out some weaker stocks and ETFs and things like that. And so that outside the box way thinking gave us this setup here, daily bull flag scanner. Just bear with me while I switch back here. But APAM, let's take a look here. So I can see what's trying to find here. Drawing tool, look at that as a as kind of a bull flag right there. Some of these will look better than others. CDP. So there you go, moving up this way, flagging that way. CWK, something similar here. So, you can use, Kaisha, absolutely, 100%. Give me 1 second. Let me find the cloud link for it. Bull flag. Bull flag daily setup, share, copy, paste. And so, outside the box way of thinking for some of these things, there's no outside the box way of thinking on EMA. An EMA is an EMA. It is what it is. Here's a bull flag intraday one. I think Andy created this as well. I've never really checked it out the same as I have the daily one there. I do not use bull flags. It's not something of an interest to me. I'm, aware of what they are. I haven't gone through some CMT curriculum. So here's 3 different bull flag ones. Take them, make them what you will, dissect them a little bit and see how they may help you as well. So, all right, folks, I'm going to begin to wrap it up here. Unless there's any other software questions, I'll stick around for another moment or two if there's any software questions. If not, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up my day on this part of my work day as I move back into some other stuff. You are very welcome, Sergio. So, all right, begin to wrap up here. If you folks are not in the trading room with Barry, got to get there, right? You're very welcome, Joel. Again, there's the link. Barry will be coming off his break. If he's not off the break already, he'll be off the break in a minute or two. Very knowledgeable about the software, very knowledgeable about trading in general and markets, Barry. He's never going to tell you what to buy, do, sell, hold, anything like that. But if you hang around there enough, you'll get the picture of why Barry's a real true professional for sure. Other than that, our schedule is kind of shaken up around here during the weeks here with some staff shakeups that we talked about last week. So you may see me again tomorrow. You might see Andy tomorrow. I'm not really sure. I don't think you'll see Steve tomorrow. He's flying under the weather a little bit. So I think, try to let him rest up a little bit here. As we roll through December, we are in the fun cold season for everybody here. So that does happen. But yeah, you'll probably likely see me or Andy tomorrow again from noon to 1 Eastern. And then we'll see how the rest of the week shakes out from there. So again, I thank you all very, very kindly for the interactions. It's always greatly appreciated. And if I leave you with any thought, do the work, right? Make a plan, execute the plan, do the work, right? Thanks again, folks. Really appreciate you being here. And we will see you on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.